Hello, for the 16th Sunday Ordinary Time, only using the Gospel, Luke 10:38 to 42. It's all about Martha and Mary. And the question I have, like you to think of, it is, why did Jesus criticize Martha for her service and compliment Mary for her talking and her conversation? Well, Martha, there's an artist who painted this scene. I don't know who he is, but anyway, this artist painted Martha as standing there holding a tray with a loaf of bread on it and a pitcher and looking at Jesus. And there was Mary sitting in a chair, sort of looking up at Jesus with a book in her hand. Martha and Mary. And Martha gets criticized. I find it interesting because right before this, last week's gospel, in fact, Jesus is bragging about the Good Samaritan, that he was active in working with this person half dead in the street when the priest passed by and the Levite passed by. And he was all active and he praised him as wonderful. And here, Martha in the kitchen, active, and no praise there. That's interesting, I think. Even Jesus himself, I wonder if Jesus was more like Martha than Mary. I mean, he was very active. And just the week before that, or during the week, I'm not sure, but Jesus is all getting ready and sending out 72 disciples to the towns and villages that he was going to come to get them ready so he could preach to them and so forth. And he was very active and with service. And even then, it got so bad, he'd run away, and then people would follow him and find him. And he would break the silence and take care of the people that found him. Sometimes I think Jesus might have been more Martha than Mary. Well, I think finally I've figured it out. Let me run this by you, and you can think it out yourself, pray it out yourself. I just think that in life, have you ever had some good friends, a good friend, or very few good friends, where you can talk about everything? You can share your heart. You can share your heart with that other person, and you enjoy, and he or she receives it, respects you, is interested in where you are, whether it's very positive or very negative, and it's a blessing. I've done that with two priest friends. One, Herman, the other, Heine. You hear me talk about him every once in a while. I'm like, Herman just died this past November, which I miss. And we were able to talk and tell each other everything. In fact, we went to confession to one another for 25 years. Pretty good. And then there's another one. This is a priest over in Evansville, Indiana, Heine. And we talk on the phone and we bet on horses and we talk about, with these two men, priest friends, I have been, I think, blessed that I have been able to share what I think of life, where I'm coming from, how I feel, what bothers me, how I'm pretty good or very bad, my weaknesses, my sins, everything, hook, line, and sinker. Those two priests have been a blessing in my life, and I always enjoy to be with them. And pretty much they're, I think, pretty much the same way with me. Good friendship, and really enjoy talking in depth. So I think this Mary, how often did she see Jesus? Jesus came over for the dinner with Lazarus, Mary, Martha. When was the last time she saw him? And Mary really wanted to talk to Jesus about what's happening in her life. in his life. And she was not all concerned about getting something to eat. I find that's the situation. And nothing's bad about activity, and nothing's bad about Martha doing all this service in the kitchen and getting the dinner or the food ready. But there's sibling rivalry. I mean, there's a lot of rivalry in life, isn't there? Martha and Mary. Well, I think the bottom line has to do with that friendship. Where with some people, you really can key in, tune into, and they with you. And they like you, love you for whatever you're worth. And they respect, and they just don't condemn. And they make you feel good, whole, accepted, loved. I honestly believe that's where Martha wasn't, or at least at that time, but that's where Mary was at that time. And they haven't seen one another for a long period of time. So I have to agree with Jesus when he says, Martha, Martha, you are anxious and worried about many things. There need only be one thing, and Mary has chosen the better part, and it will not be taken from her. That's friendship. That's contacting, connecting with, where people love one another. People love one another in many other ways too. But to me, that's depth that I see Jesus and Mary had. And that's the better part than just serving somebody. So I think all of us are Martha and Mary's combined. But and Jesus, was he more like Martha or more like Mary? I don't know. Are you more like Martha or Mary? I think Jesus is right when he said, Martha, Martha, why do you worry so much? Mary has chosen the better part. So in my life and in your life, is Jesus your friend? Do you take out time? Or are you too busy putting that thing in your ear, or texting, or my next vacation, or my next activity, or my next worry? I think we all are that often. But play the role of Mary, maybe more often. What do you think? Do what Jesus, thinking about that, you'll be praying. Have a good day.